What's up, you guys? Sean Rossat, managing editor, FightfulWrestling.com, Fightful.com. Head over there, get all your free wrestling news, your scoops, my friends. Don't forget, we have that Fightful Wrestling Weekly. Got a lot of attention last Friday. Every Friday, I like to give kind of a behind-the-scenes look at how I get some of the news that I get. About 1,000 words, maybe some scoops that you've missed over the last couple of weeks. Good stuff in there. Check that out. Also, FightfulSelect.com. I'm going to give you all the update every Monday on the new content over there. Early access to a story behind Mabel's King of the Ring belt. And early access to a column I wrote about Becky and Rousey changing baby faces in WWE. Early access to the Curtis Blades interview article. I did a mini Q&A yesterday with the Weekender podcast, Impact, ROH, NWA, BTE review. We had the NXT UK podcast with Warren Hayes. Early access to retro review ratings for Raw in 97, where Brett screwed Brett, essentially, that famous line. We have a back in the day clip, the clip that got Anna hired, actually, by Fightful.com. We have early access to the retro review ratings for the Valentine's Day Massacre podcast I'll be doing, UFC rankings breakdown. We had early access to an Authors of Pain column that Joe Holbert did, kind of an explanation on a tweet that Simon Gotch had sent to Fightful. We had the Q&A podcast last week. We had the NXT 205 live review as well. The unedited press conference, which I will talk about in a minute. Just a ton of stuff over there. Dark match commentary. How about Dean Ambrose's TNA tryout? We had Stupid People extended. You all can submit questions for interviews at the second tier. And we had a spoiler that Daniel Bryan would be winning the WWE Championship. That little ditty. You never know what we're going to drop on FightfulSelect.com. Also, alternate fight commentary, Russo Reveals segment. There's just so much. Go over there, check it out. I'm tired of listing it all right now. But my God, what is this? Night 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Alex, 3 of 4. I was telling you off the air. When the switch to Friday happens, you know, we talked about it. We might have a different co-host on. You have fatherly duties on Fridays.
I do.
I was talking about it. I was like, I won't have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and off now. I'm working almost every Saturday at this point. UFC has 11 fights on their schedule between January and March, up from 9.
Oh, man.
So I only imagine that that's going to transfer to the fall. We might be looking at Friday, Saturday, Monday, Sunday, Monday. So it's still going to be 4-day weekends. They're still crammed. But this has been a long one already, Alex.
It has. And in my opinion, the quality of the wrestling has gone down exponentially from day to day, with a huge drop off from yesterday to today. And we shall see if that trend continues. If it does, just kill tomorrow night with fire, because it's going to be awful if it gets much worse than tonight.
I posted an exclusive story early this morning that I've kind of hinted about on this podcast, other podcasts, especially select ones, about wrestlers that are coming up in their negotiation process. And I had mentioned AJ Styles a couple times. I reported that he wants a reduced schedule, sort of like Randy Orton, but that he was also eager to drop the WWE title because he's been away from his family so much over the last year, which ironically, right after I published that, I watched his 365 where he talked about how much his schedule had increased. Alex, your thoughts on this? I was told by one of the two sources that Big E might be close to landing a 5-year deal as well. I wasn't able to confirm that with the second source, though. Your thoughts on AJ perhaps getting a reduced schedule?
I mean, he deserves it. I mean, the other thing is that he works such an athletic style, and he's no spring chicken. And this guy you saw fit to let him be one of 8 guys ever to hold the belt for a full year. So obviously you feel like he's important. He is the most important guy on your SmackDown show, which is now moving to Fox on Fridays. If he sticks around on that brand, you want him to stay healthy and active and be a part of your company's overall progression into the near and possible, 5-6 years in the future. And he's not going to be doing what he's doing now over and over and over again every week when he's 45, 46 years old. You've got to be able to pace him through that. He doesn't need to be champion the whole time. You know, you have a way of actually being able to take him off the road occasionally, let him spend some time with his family, and also mostly give him some longevity. I think it's a good idea to keep him off the road.
If you're curious why we're loading up the front of the show with news, well, there's not a lot to talk about on Raw tonight. I also revealed that until about 8:20 p.m. Eastern, Raw's script had just been distributed and handed out, and a lot of people made jokes. Probably the case all the time. Maybe once or twice this year that I've been told about, and I'm usually told about this type of thing. Doesn't happen very much, and it showed throughout the first match. Wednesday, guys, of course, we have the Fightful MMA podcast tomorrow. Lots of stuff there. Tune in 2 p.m. Eastern. But Wednesday, the flagship podcast, List and Your Boy, number 99, Alex. And you've heard me every week cut promos on Melissa. We had our press conference.
Nice.
To kick off List and Your Boy, number 99. It is the Melissa versus SRS press conference to build up to our fight at List and Your Boy 100. You can see that press conference full and unedited over on Select, but you will get an abbreviated version on Wednesday. Make sure you all tune in. If you all are not at your computers or on your phones, November 28th, 3 p.m. Eastern, List and Your Boy 100. I don't know what you all are doing. This is literally the culmination of everything Fightful. Everything Fightful. I promised a lot of crazy things. We even have an event page up for it. Another plug I wanted to get out there. Dave Lagana, 43-minute interview up early. Fightful Select subscribers, Tier 2. Check it out. On to Raw. Maybe we can wrap this one up by about 11:19 Eastern, Alex. Actually, I thought they accomplished quite a bit in the opening segment of Raw. Stephanie McMahon, Baron Corbin come out. Corbin wants to be made permanent GM. And in kayfabe, why would Stephanie not want him to be?
Right. No. I mean, she said, I need you to win Survivor Series. And technically, even if he had only won it, 4-3 or whatever, he still would have won it. But this time it was a quote unquote clean sweep because the pre-show didn't count. And by the way, that little tidbit has pissed off Xavier Woods on Twitter because he keeps making references to that. I know they won 6-1, but it was still a very resounding win for Raw. So yes, she should want to make him general manager permanently. But yeah, this was all part of their little overall arching story of Raw is so much better than SmackDown. Why did Fox buy SmackDown again? I don't understand. Like, it's just a weird thing. You're the show that you sold to Fox for all that money, you're making it look like a piece of crap. That's interesting.
There's still a lot of time to build it back up, and maybe they'll get their revenge next year as they debut on Fox.
That might be the thing they're going for, yeah.
And I think it could be. If Strowman comes out. If he wins, he gets a Universal Championship match against Brock Lesnar. If he wins what? His new TLC match with Baron Corbin. So they've essentially booked Braun a couple shows ahead. They're already getting started with TLC matches, which I like. Baron didn't seem that happy about getting this match, but that kind of changes a little bit when she reveals that if Baron wins, he becomes the permanent Raw GM. That's good. You're adding stakes to the top Raw match already. Braun picks a TLC match as the stipulation. This is all, they're really loading it up for this match in particular.
Yeah. I know it's the thing like Braun's like, I'm a monster. I can't wait to use all these weapons to beat you up because you cost me my shot at the Universal title match. But that's not the smart step because if Corbin catches a lucky shot on you, he can win the match. So what you need to do is make it a tables match because I'm pretty sure Braun could put Corbin through a table in the first minute because he's just so much stronger. Like those are things that you want your guys to cheer for, to be smart and be good at strategery. But this is not smart strategery. Also, I like my tables, ladders, and chairs matches with guys who can actually do stuff off of ladders. Like being part of a TLC match because I'm so I watched the first couple where you had the Hardys and Edge and Christian doing stuff off of ladders. That was part of the match. I don't think we'll see a lot of big spots off of ladders in this TLC match.
So what are they climbing up and getting?
I guess that's it. A TLC match usually involves getting something off the ladders, but I've seen recent matches that are TLC matches that were just pinfall.
When? I don't remember those.
Didn't they do one for the tag titles? I don't think it was the tag belts were up there, were they? Maybe they were.
Anytime. Hit us up if you can remember. Oh, man. But at least I do like the stakes here. Corbin tries to book Strowman against Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, but Stephanie McMahon makes it a 6-man tag match with Balor and Elias on Braun's side and Corbin on the McIntyre-Lashley side, which I think is way better because you don't have to bury two promising talent. So we're told after the commercial this is now an elimination match, and I was thinking, cool, whatever. Makes sense.
Survivor Series weekend?
Yeah. This was not cool. This was not good. This was a bad match, in fact. Not good match. And with these 6, I was very surprised. Braun and McIntyre square off, and Braun gets the best of it. Balor is super over again. I don't know what's happened in the last 2 weeks, but he's been getting great reactions.
Yeah.
Corbin works him over a bit. I love the deep 6 to prevent Balor getting a tag out. But after getting beaten up by Lashley, Balor rolls through a drop kick, tags Elias for a big pop. He runs through his hot tag that is not hot at all. No. Elias is not used to this, Alex. I think hot tags maybe need to at least refine it if you're Elias, because I don't see many of those in his future.
No, well, he's not a tag wrestler. Like, that's a thing that, like, I don't remember seeing. I've seen him in tag matches where he's been thrown together, but never like, this is what I do. I am in tags. Balor's stuff is a lot of velocity. He's got sling blades and front drop kicks and stuff. Elias, he's got one match. He's got one signature move where he has to get the guy off the top rope, put him in the electric chair, swing him around, then hit a power bomb. Like, his signature stuff isn't like conducive to hot tags. In the future, if he's going to do more of these, he should have one of those lined up, but right now he does not.
This match is a mess. All the heels end up outside. Balor does a tope con hilo, and then he gets knocked off the rope. Braun and Balor are taken out. Elias gets beaten down 3-on-1. This is just really not good so far. Elias hits a nice flying elbow on Corbin, but Lashley breaks up the pin. By the way, Balor gets eliminated, I guess, during the commercial with a Claymore.
Yeah, that happened.
Okay, cool. Leo taunts Elias, tries to run away, but sets up a Lashley spear. Braun makes a comeback to run through everyone in this generic match. All that for Strowman to hit a power slam on Corbin and get hit with a chair.
Yeah.
McIntyre gets DQ'd, and in this elimination match, the entire team gets DQ'd. No finish. Strowman is attacked, sent into the stairs. Stairs thrown on him. Selling the arm big time. It's later revealed that Strowman has a quote-unquote shattered elbow. Storyline shattered elbow. It's them trying to get a little sympathy on him. Understandable. Not the easiest thing to do.
Right. We complain about how they insist with their top babyface that he has to be booked like an underdog. They do this with Roman Reigns, and we go, really? The 6'3" chiseled Samoan, he's the underdog.
And that's not what got Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman over.
No, exactly. So they insist on doing this, and it's a stupid thing that when they do it with Roman, because it's not believable. It's less believable with Braun Strowman. Now, you have 3 big dudes beating him up, and okay, fine. But there are ways to get him over without that.
This is a giant waste of time. Just miserable crap. The opening segment made sense. It was good. But other than that, nothing. Nothing. Somebody says, isn't he having knee issues now as well? No, he's fine. Braun is fine. Seth Rollins comes out and talks about his issues with Ambrose, says that Ambrose never picked up the phone when Rollins called to check on him. Rollins is looking for a fight. Ambrose shows up on the Titantron and says that time has caught up to both of them and they'll pay the price. What goes around comes around, and practically says that Roman Reigns got cancer again because of what he did in the Shield, which begs the question, what did Roman do as a teenager to get it the first time?
We don't know.
My God.
How much of the Shield's run were they heels? Like, how wasn't it like the first?
It was a solid year, about 15 months.
Okay.
Until the Wyatt family feud.
That's right. I'm saying, like, I feel like they redeemed themselves since. They've absolved those sins since, but maybe not in Dean's eyes.
Yeah. Your connection trash, BT dubs. So Ambrose tells Rollins to come find him and fight him. Rollins finds a security guard who acts like a total dick. So Rollins just decks him. Lisa, the security guard, would have beat Rollins' ass with the quickness. Let me tell you guys about Lisa, the security guard. The same lady that prevented Gronk from getting into the ring. She's not dealing with this trash, Alex. She's not dealing with Rollins punching her. When I saw ponytail, blonde, I was like, oh, they got Lisa on TV tonight. But it wasn't Lisa. It was a dude. No. Lisa got put over a big time, including a wrestler who I told you about off the air that contacted me about it.
Yes.
And that became the trend throughout the day. Lots of wrestlers really happy that Lisa got involved yesterday. So at some point, Renee Young's got to go, hey, bitches, stop asking me about Dean. The answer hasn't changed.
Yeah, she does. She has to either turn full heel or tell him to get off her back.
I don't want her to be turn heel. She's way too likable, especially as an announcer.
Right.
And they aren't likable at all. She's very redundant, as any third wheel commentator will be, but she's at least likable when she's redundant. Sure. So backstage, Charlie Caruso is setting up an interview, and Ambrose shows up on the screen. Rollins tries to track him down, but finds a door with "Burn It Down" written on it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, remember that time when Rollins was in the feud with Finn Balor before Finn Balor got injured, and he spent the entire night looking for the Demon King all over the arena? They just ran that back again.
He needs to hire a tracer. Or somebody. My God.
Yeah.
He really needs to do his extra work. Ambrose still hiding, playing mind games with Rollins. So Rollins just leaves the building. Now, what I'm about to tell you is the main event segment of the show.
Right.
But we cover all these things together. That way we don't go back and forth and back and forth. Ambrose comes out to the ring and, quite frankly, acts like a total dick. But Rollins shows up and attacks him. Hits a suicide dive, chases him into the crowd. And then when Rollins goes for a curb stomp, Ambrose punches him right in the penis. Now, that was the show. That was a wrap. They're booking a lot of heat in WWE, but they're also relying on the right in the penis an awful lot for both brands. I
think that the only explanation for how often they use it is that it makes Vince laugh. You know, he probably thinks it's really funny. Also, I'm disappointed that Dean, who I thought could have been a transcendent heel, is using tried and true heel 101. You people all smell bad. You people
all
stink
over
like garbage.
We haven't had a lot of those "you people" promos.
This was really bad. It felt lazy and really bad.
I mean, I railed against those for about 6 solid months, man, when Jinder Mahal was cutting them every time. And I think he cut so many of them, they were like, all right. And Alexa was cutting them all the time. Now they stick to the faux apology from the women, and then they fake, all that crap. So that was the main event segment. And I don't know if Vince thinks it's funny. There's something else on the show that he'll think is funny for sure. But I think that he thinks it's the most dastardly thing that you can possibly do. And that's pretty indicative. He thinks that getting punched in the dick is the worst thing that can possibly happen. Yeah, I'd be more inclined to say that Roman Reigns deserving cancer because
that was bad.
he did some heel stuff would be. But I mean, I'm positive Roman okayed it and is completely fine with it because that's the kind of guy Roman Reigns is.
Yeah.
There you go. Nia Jax and Tamina defeated Sasha Banks and Bayley. I've been told Sasha Banks has not been happy with her direction. No secret either. It's all over. It's all over.
Why would she be?
Yeah. Should have been a tag title tournament match. Sasha goes at Nia, which gets a great reaction. The baby faces are quick to beat the hell out of Tamina, including a nice outside end Meteora from Sasha. Sasha is clotheslined on the floor by Tamina, gets worked over before coming back with another pop-up Meteora on Tamina, who is working the lion's share of this match. And I don't know if that's a safe territory to be in when Tamina is the safer one.
Yeah. That's
Bayley gets tagged in and gets super kicked, but not pinned. This was a real weird spot. I've said it on podcasts over and over again. Almost any worthwhile wrestling school, one of the first things you learn is that if your opponent is laying flat back on the mat with their shoulders pinned, you pin them. That is the entire point of a pro wrestling match. So this is on Tamina for not pinning her and Bayley for laying flat back in the middle of the ring, and Bayley knows better. You sell that and you roll over to a shoulder, you roll over to your face, you roll over to the ropes, anything to not have yourself pinned on the mat. Tamina, slow as syrup. Bayley gets the rope stunner, the Thez press, the running knee. But Nia Jax hits the face breaker on Bayley. And if there was any doubt about last week, you want to run this one back and see how much more telegraphed this one looks.
Yeah.
Because it was. Samoa Drop gets it done for Nia, and she's got the heats right now. And they had already planned on this to happen. So this isn't a case of them putting Nia with Rousey because they want to get Rousey a babyface reaction. They had this plan. This was already in the cards. But, man, they got a lot of different things going. I had posted a tweet about how they have 7 different matches ready to go. Alex, your thoughts on this one and Nia?
Look, Sasha and Bayley are out there sporting matching Bob Sparkplug Holly themed gear. Can we just get women's tag titles already? These women are already paired up and they have matching gear. Let's just do it. I don't understand what the holdup is. It would at least give them a direction beyond, hey, occasionally we get beat up by the heels, because that's what they are now. I don't appreciate them talking about how Tamina is the most feared woman in the locker room. Really?
So it's funny you mentioned Bob Holly. I don't know when I can squeeze this one in. The character portrayals of him on Something to Wrestle and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins' podcasts are hilarious and accurate. He had once tweeted about a story that I did, and I don't know, he wasn't happy with how it was or something. I ran a recant or something, or I fixed it. I go, what'd you think? Via DM, and he put, fucking sucked, with a smiley face. He was going to write for us at one point, believe it or not. A little fun fact as we lead into Listen Your Boy 100, November 28th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Bob Holly was going to write for us at one point, as Deonna Purrazzo did and Jason Kincaid does here and there. And EC3 was supposed to as well before work got in the way, but didn't end up happening. But Bob is misrepresented. He is a much different person these days than he was in WWE. So that was that. So backstage, we see Drake Maverick, and he's there. You see Delilah Doom, an indie wrestler. You see Eric Watts, not Bill Watts' son. In fact, it's the much better Eric Watts, the one from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood that was on Tough Enough in 2011. You see WWE creative members, but Heath Slater and Rhino are poking fun at Drake Maverick for pissing his pants. Yep. And then Bobby Roode and Chad Gable have a fun trolley time with this as well. This is what Vince McMahon finds hilarious.
Yes, he does.
And I really shouldn't have laughed at the urine line, but I'm a giant child, and I did. Mm-hmm. And I really shouldn't have.
No, you shouldn't have. It was stupid.
It was stupid. It was dumb.
It was really dumb.
It was real ignorant, but it happened. By the way, speaking of piss, Piss Test Man came last Tuesday, I believe. There you go. Nothing ever happened, but I mean, piss tests last week. There you go. Lucha House Party rules. which is just a handicap match, I guess.
I guess that's. I guess. Okay.
You want to run through this one because there wasn't a lot. There was what I think the highlight move of Raw was. I think it was Dawson catching an enziguri midair and turning it into a planted dragon screw where the body doesn't go all the way around. That is a smooth one. That one I like. Dorado gets tagged in, springboard moonsault, the spinning head scissors. And then Metalik has this goddamn pinata that is thrown around for some reason. And he wins with a shooting star press.
It's like somebody reminded Vince that there are a lot of Latinos in LA. So let's do the Lucha Dragons come out there, Lucha House Party, and they could throw on a pinata because the Latinos love pinata. These guys, if you would just let them actually wrestle and not make it a comedy thing, you kidding me? The Revival, which is those three guys in a match where the Lucha has the advantage because the Revival is the much better tag team, but those three guys, the idea that a friend sent this to me, it's possible that the Revival hate flips because flips is their kryptonite. I love that idea that these guys use flips. We can't handle the flips because otherwise, why did they lose? Oh, that's right, because Vince hates the Revival for some reason. I don't get it. They almost won your big match last night, which didn't count. So tonight to reward them, oh well.
Somebody in the live chat, youtube.com/Fightful. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, leave us a thumbs up. Does Fightful should leak the next Drake Maverick storyline? I think there's enough leaking as it pertains to Drake Maverick storylines. Am I right?
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, a lot
of leaking. Man, I'm good. Alex, do you think that Becky Lynch has penis envy?
I don't.
That's what Ronda Rousey said today.
It is. I guess it's the thing that she doesn't like the fact that Becky calls herself the man.
So yeah.
She puts it down to penis envy. But
well, I mean, I know one thing. Other Raw recap podcasts definitely have penis envy. It's without a doubt.
They do.
It's without a doubt. Because they don't have that performance. They don't have that stamina to go 1 hour long.
No.
They don't get live at 11:05.
No.
I don't think there's any of them that get live at 10:05 on Tuesdays, but it doesn't matter what night it is.
Nope.
Fightful has that performance. We've got that confidence. And we have it because of BlueChew.com. And you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed by visiting BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. It brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, 11:05 a.m. or p.m., even on a full stomach. Since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. They're prescribed online and shipped straight to your door in a discreet package, no in-person doctor's visits, no waiting at the pharmacy, and no more awkwardness. And I'm giving them to you for free. For free. We give you the best wrestling news, period, for free. The best wrestling stories for free. The scoops for free. And now we're giving you Blue Chew for free. All you got to do is use that code FIGHTFUL. Just pay $5 shipping. You're good to go, my friends. Hit them up at GetBlueChew on Twitter. Let them know you heard about them from us. I've got a fun sponsor on Wednesday once you guys see that press conference. Oh boy, the way that I landed this one. Ronda Rousey comes out. What did you think of her reaction initially? I thought it was pretty good, all things considered, from last night.
Yeah, it was interesting. Certainly compared to what happened last night, very different. I did notice the smattering of "We Want Becky" chants. This is going to be wind up being a very divided feud. Again, LA is her home. So I think it's a different mix here than it might be somewhere else. But I thought she handled it well.
I thought so as well. Rousey comes out and says that she knows how dangerous Nia Jax is and took a little shot at Becky Lynch. So I love how they threw that in there, kept it subtle. But then she cut a promo that I've seen in every goddamn Gatorade commercial ever.
Yes. About
deserving to be a champion and all that. It was rough. She's facing Nia Jax at TLC, but she wants to face someone tonight. Baron Corbin comes out and says no, but Rousey tries to fight him instead.
Yeah.
And I do love the visual of Baron Corbin towering over her in a suit. And like me looking at Rousey, and I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. She could throw him and dump him on his head.
Yeah.
I like it. He gives her the match anyway. It's Mickie James. And boy, did this match suck.
Yep.
This was not a good one. And, you know, Rousey has some time to train for her matches and all that stuff. She did not have time for this one. Rousey lands strikes but gets clocked on the separation. And then Mickie just kicked her like 20 times. And I don't think any of them looked good.
Nope.
Rough. Rousey and Mickie are not on the same page. So Rousey gets her throws, 3 Piper's Pits, which is what the spinning Samoans are now called. The armbar for the win. Whew. This match was not on my recommended viewing list.
No, it was bad. The segment wasn't great. The whole like, I'm a champ. I've never ever pulled out of a fight. And it's like one of those things where like, yeah, well, maybe you didn't pull out a fight, but like the idea of nobody knocked, like, oh, Becky, you got knocked out with one punch. Well, you kind of got knocked out with one kick that one time. Remember that? Remember
there's
how
a
that
lot
was
more
a
than
thing?
one kick. She got her ass kicked.
Well, that's
for a
true.
while.
But there was that one that got played over and over and over again. It was I think it's a kind of a thing where her character and her reality meld sometimes and then also diverge at some points, and it's just up to WWE whether they want to tell the truth or not.
Yeah, it's her persona and her career has been so highly publicized. You can't be hypocritical unless you want her to get a heel reaction, which I think is the way they're going. I don't think they want it at TLC, obviously.
No, not now.
But they had this in the cards already, so you get what you get. Tamina and Nia Jax stare down Rousey after the match.
Well, that was weird though. Like they came out to the ramp and they looked at her and then they walked out of the arena before her. It was just so weird.
Yeah, man. AOPP. That's good shit, pal.
That's never going to go away. They're going to be called AOPP in chants for the rest of their time on the main roster. Good, WWE, good for you. You've just destroyed any potential that they actually have to be taken seriously as a real heel tag team because you gave them a manager that pissed their pants. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Legion of Doom had a dummy. They had a mannequin that rode around with them. They'll be all right. This is their first tag team loss, or first 2-on-2 loss. Gable gets his ass kicked, applies a hanging armbar. Rude tags in and pretty effectively takes care of AOP. A Rude Salt is escaped, but Gable does a super sunset flip for the win. This is to set up a TLC match. That's what this is.
That's all it is. Yep.
And there's really nothing here.
Nothing.
Natalya goes on the offensive for a commercial in her match with Ruby Riott. She would win this match. Ruby turns the tides with an STO. I like Ruby Riott's senton. The Riott Squad try and distract Natalya, but she reverses a pin for the win, Alex.
That is a match that happened.
And this was a show that happened. Did I miss anything?
You did not. Not that I'm aware of.
We are 33 minutes into a Raw podcast. Now, I'm going to use this. This will be our talking point here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, oh, why don't you all have Trina or Warren or Jeff or anybody on the Monday Night Raw shows? Well, the reason we don't usually is because this is a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
So we just so often we go over what I like to have a firm hour. I like to end by 59 minutes, 59 seconds. It just looks good. It's more digestible for the viewer. We are 33 minutes into a show. I spent the first 2.5, 3 minutes plug and select.
Yep.
I spent the next 2-3 minutes plugging an exclusive story I had on Fightful.com this morning. Yep. I spent another 2 minutes plugging a podcast that is happening in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I spent another 2 minutes selling dick pills to our wonderful viewers. And goddamn, do I love you guys. I really do. We covered Raw.
Yeah.
And everything of consequence.
Yeah.
What does that say to you, Alex?
I don't know. It says that they spread themselves too thin with major shows over the course of 6 weeks.
Meanwhile, I have the Rams and the Chiefs dominating my train of thought.
Well,
it is 51-47 on Monday Night Football right now.
Yeah.
That's what WWE went up against.
Yeah. Well,
was this Blitz the League game that ESPN decided to put on right now?
Maybe that's why they front loaded it with the Braun storyline. I don't know. I mean, what I was saying was that they spent so long building to the Saudi Arabia show. They had 2 weeks to build this. I'll have 3 weeks to build the TLC. I mean, at least after TLC, you have 6 weeks until the Rumble. Like, maybe then they'll actually have time to like really do something. But now it just feels like they're just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And a lot of it is just shit, and shit does stick to walls occasionally.
So if you guys want me to answer any questions, me and Alex answer any questions, hit us up in the live chat. What we'll do when we have time, we're going to go back to the old method. If you all want questions answered and we have time, ask them on the discus boards. If you all want to really support Fightful and don't necessarily feel like subscribing to Fightful Select, which is the most direct way, comment on any of our stories on the discus boards. I so badly want to grow those discus boards and get your guys' thoughts on every story that we have. That is integral to Fightful's growth. But for tonight, we will make predictions. Somebody says, does Alex use dial-up internet? I'm beginning to think so. But we're going to make predictions, Alex, for Starrcade 2018, which will be shown in an abbreviated version on Sunday. I'm going to Starrcade. We got Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, street fight for the IC title. Ain't no way Ambrose wins this before TLC because they've already announced it.
Yeah. No, Seth is winning. It's a giant... It's the houseiest house show ever.
Rusev versus The Miz. I think The Miz ends up winning this. I'm ejecting Alex. I'm ejecting him. His internet's trash. He's off the show. He's done. I'll make predictions. By the way, guys, if you all want, somebody says, what about more color options for the classic Fightful tee? If you want this shirt, and we have it in white, Black Friday sale at Pro Wrestling Tees this weekend. Nakamura, Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. Nakamura's winning this. The Bar versus New Day for the tag titles. The Bar are winning that. Drew McIntyre and Balor. I think Balor's going to win. AJ Styles and Joe in a steel cage match. I think Joe might end up winning. I think he might end up winning now that AJ Styles has dropped the title, so to speak. Ray Death Ray says, Alex should upgrade to the Pony Express. I don't know what that means. What's the plans for Starrcade? So if you mean my personal plans, myself and Nikita Krylov fan, as some of you all may know him, he did an alternate commentary with me last year, a personal friend of mine I've known for over a decade. We're driving up. We're going to actually peep out some toy stores in Cincinnati. I've been watching those Figure It Out episodes with Hawkins and Ryder, and I've decided to start. I'm not a figure collector, but I was like, you know what? I'll collect Kentucky and Cincinnati-based figures. People from there. I got a few this week. I'll tell you about those on the content that we film, but I'm going to search for some of them in Cincinnati. I'll get some videos from the show. I'll do a review after the show at some point. Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz 2 or 3 is that night. Somebody says, when's the roster shakeup? Same time it is every year. Who you got moving when the shakeup happens? It's hard to say. We're like 4 months away from it. Is there any update on the concussions of Becky and Alexa? No, not yet. Becky will be reevaluated soon. Alexa, same thing. They'll probably be reevaluated roughly at the same time. They're monitoring the situation. They don't need Alexa right now on the road or in the ring. They've got their top program set for Raw. So they don't really need her back on the road, or they don't need her to be out there in the ring bumping when she might be a little bit fragile. And they had a scare with Sasha Banks lately, and Sasha Banks did the right thing. So, there's no reason to do that. Guys, remember, Fightful MMA podcast, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Join us. Somebody asked, what made you turn on Melissa? Any possibility of a future Kentucky Express makeup? Did you see her screw up our show? It's because she screwed up the Listing Your Boy with her production snafus. Yeah. Who do you think will win the men and women Royal Rumbles? Becky or Charlotte? On the Raw side or the men's side, I'm guessing probably Braun or Drew McIntyre. Could they go Becky versus Ronda versus Charlotte at Mania? They sure could. Think they'll replace Becky for the Charlotte Cage match? Yeah, I think so. I do think so. Any update on Brock actually fighting Daniel Cormier? Is it a first sure thing or not? I've seen that that Dana wants Jones versus Cormier 3. Yeah, he's still in the USADA pool. He's not eligible yet. He will be in a couple of months. Once he's eligible and makes it through there, then they will book the fight. Dana wants 3 more fights out of Daniel Cormier. Man, this NFL game is just insane, you guys. It is unreal. I have never seen anything like this game. This may be the greatest football game I have ever watched, half paying attention. If you guys want more questions answered, just hit me up. FightfulSelect.com, guys. Like I said, the most direct way to support Fightful.com is FightfulSelect.com. $5 a month, my friends. Get you the first tier. Thank you guys so much. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe. We're out. Hey, I'm sorry that Raw sucked tonight. I'm sorry that Raw didn't take us that far. But we got SmackDown. We're coming right back live at 10:05 Tuesday.